Hey guys, Songbird here. Yeah, it's kind of a late night. I seem to be making a habit of that lately, but always being a night owl, you know, the late night thing's kind of a thing for me. Always has been. I took today and I woke up early because I woke up excited with an idea in my head, and I've been going over the big project that I've been working on that kind of started a little over 10 years ago with an idea, you know, with one story, and then come to find out there was another story I worked on over the last 5 years that kind of tied in with it, and it morphed into something else, and it's a huge project that has come together over the years, and it's turning into a trilogy of books that I'm really excited. It's so much fun to work on, and I've kind of hinted at it before in one of my other vlogs. If any of you have watched the other vlogs, I talked about it a bit, you know, my big project. But honestly, out of every story I've written, this is some of the best work I've ever done, and I love working on it. And one of the themes behind the story, because I'm not going to drop spoilers, I don't do that. I'm having too much fun working on this story to drop spoilers, but time is a theme in it, a running theme through the whole trilogy. And it plays with time and, you know, moves through different worlds, and it moves through different timelines and realities, and kind of bends and twists and plays with it so that you'll look at time maybe differently than you did before. But just the characters, and I've cried my eyes out working on scenes in this book. I've raged working on scenes in this book. You know, had my husband come home in the morning and I'm totally pissed off and he wonders why, and I tell him, look at what happened. And I read him what happened and he goes, oh, okay, character related, got it. You know, but I love this story. I love the characters, and I love the way it's coming together. This is honestly as much work as I've put into it and everything, and I've got the beginning of the first book written, and I've got most of the timeline for the first book laid out, and I've got the ending written for the first book, and then I've got the second book planned out, and I've got a lot of it actually written and penned out, and then the third book I've got most of it worked out, and oh my god, the ending. Oh my god, the ending. I've got the ending done, and just, this is the best thing I've ever worked on, you know, as far as me feeling tied to it and me feeling a part of it and just loving working on it. And if you're a writer and you don't love what you're working on, it's going to come through in the work, where I'm not saying I'm the best writer out there. I know I'm not. I know there's people out there that are better than me. I know there's people out there that'll love my work or hate my work, whatever it is, because everyone out there's got different opinions, you know? You're not going to please everyone. But if you love what you do, you know, the way I love my work, it at least means something, and people can tell when you love something like that. You know, it comes through in the work if you're putting your heart and soul into it or if you're not. And no, the grammar's not perfect. It never is with me, you know. I'm just a housewife. I never went to school for this stuff or anything, and I never wanted to, because I wanted to write from the heart, from the soul, so that every word on every page of every story or song or poem I ever write, my soul and my heart are in those pages. It comes from a real place. I wanted it to be raw, you know, so that, like when I'm pissed off, I write it when I'm pissed, so you guys can feel that. When I'm heartbroken over something and the characters are heartbroken and it's a sad scene, I want you to feel it. I want you to see it and hear it. And if I haven't done that, I haven't done enough. So yeah, I cry working on these, and I rage, and, you know, I go running from my bed to my keyboard at 3 in the morning if I'm not there already, you know, just to put in the time and the work. And I laugh because, like, when I was a teenager, my mom used to come into my room and she'd slap a sandwich down and a plate on the keyboard in front of me and tell me, eat something, because I'd forget to stop long enough to eat because I'd be so driven to be working on something. And to this day, I still do it. You know, coffee's always at hand, but, you know, I forget to stop and eat. So my husband will look at me. You need to eat something. But no, I wanted to tell you guys because I have mentioned the big project before, and I love everything that I work on. You know, I wouldn't work on it if it didn't mean something to me, but this one has really struck home with me. And it's so involved, and it's so far-flung, and it's so out there, and the different worlds, and the time twisting, and the different people involved, and the timelines, and the storylines, and everything that's going on. It's so complicated, and it's so involved, and there's so much going on at all times, you know. You should see the notebooks I've got on this one, and the research and stuff, because it goes through so many different eras, and just... I love doing the research, and I love seeking out the things I need to make the story as real as humanly possible, and just... I'm having so much fun working on it, and I wanted to let you guys know and give you guys a hint because, you know, I want you to be a part of this process with me. That's part of the whole doing the channel thing. You know, I want you to know how excited I am and what I'm working on and where I am in the process, just in case if you are into my writing and if you do like what I do, you know where I am working on the bigger projects, not just the smaller projects I'm putting out to show you guys what I do and to share it with you guys. You know, to see if you like it and get excited like I do. But I wanted to make you a part of the process because I think it's so important to involve people in what you do and to let them feel your energy and your passion, and that if they get excited like you do and seeing you do your work and love it the way you do, maybe it'll spark something in someone else and they'll go, well, why can't I go work on something? You know, and if I can do that, I would love that. So, yeah, if you guys like being a part of the process, go ahead and let me know, because honestly, I've read parts of the trilogy to my mother. I've read parts of it to my stepsons, and they like the beginning. My youngest actually picked the title out of a list that's going to be the title of the first book, so he's excited because I let him name the first book. But let me know if you are interested in being a part of the process and me keeping you updated on where I am with working on it and stuff. And I'm not dropping spoilers. I'm not giving particulars because I want most of it to be a surprise, but just action, adventure, romance, sci-fi, fantasy, you know, time bending, reality bending, out there, you know, and just... I make my people with flaws. I make them screw up. I make them, you know... I make them as real as I possibly can. Those of you who have watched the Run Jessie series or listened to the Run Jessie series, you know she's not perfect. You know the guy that's after her isn't perfect. You know, I try to make my people as multifaceted and realistic as I can in the situations that they're put in. You know, I want to make you guys a part of the process if you want to be there, so you know what it's like on this side of the pen. You know, because it's an exciting process. I have so much fun with it. And just flying to my keyboard and working on my stories and stuff and getting them out there to share with you guys. You know, the people out there that have watched Run Jessie that are excited for the sequel, I'm excited for the sequel, you know, to get working on that and find out what happens to her. I get so excited when I get running on a story. It's unreal. So I wanted to talk to you guys, and I forgot how late it was because I was, like I said, working all day, and I'm actually working on the third one today because, like I said, I've got the beginning going and well underway for the first one, and I've got the ending, but the books are so involved and they're so interconnected. I'm working on all three of them at once because I don't want to screw anything up. I'm one of those people, when I read books, if I find a misprint or if I go through a book and I find out where something vital, you know, just didn't gel or wasn't right, or was just flat out off, it always bothered me. For the rest of the time I'm reading the book, I'm thinking about that. So I always try My husband says I'm a perfectionist. He's not wrong. But when it comes to my writing, I'm really picky, and I'll go through the same page 100 times to change one word, because when it comes to writing, one word can change everything. And he laughs because he comes home and I'll be reading my work out loud just to see how it flows and to see if the dialogue sounds natural or if it sounds stilted, because if the dialogue doesn't sound right, you can't connect with the people, you can't hear them in your head, you know, and to see if it flows so people, you know, can connect with the work, because that's my job, you know, to help you guys connect with things. So I'm not going to make this one that long today because I'm dying to get back to work. My characters need me. But this has been AV Songbird updating you guys on the big project. I'm so excited to get this out to you guys. So if you want to be a part of this process, and if you'd like to hear more about it as more develops, I'd be more than happy to, you know, make you guys a part of it so you can get excited when I get excited, and, you know, you could tell me what you think of the developments as they come out. Because, like I said, amateur writer. I've never had a book published before. I've had poetry published before. But yeah, I've always wanted to be a writer, and one of my goals is to one day see one of my books actually published. And if out of all my work I've ever done, this trilogy is one I'd really love to finish off and to give a shot, just to see what happens, you know, because if I don't do this, I'm always going to wonder if I don't try. And if there's things that you wake up in the morning thinking of and go to bed at night and you're still thinking of, and you wonder what would happen if you try, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is you fail. You know what? At least you gave it a shot. You're doing better than the people that never gave it a shot in the first place. You gave it your all. And if you don't, you'll always wonder, and it's those what ifs that'll get you. But I don't want the what ifs to get me. I want to know if I can do that. So, and share it with you guys, if you let me. It's majorly up to you guys, so yeah. I have to go let my dog in because he's scratching at my door to be let in, and he feels abandoned. I've got another one sitting behind me in my chair that won't let me sit back in my chair. Yeah, the dogs are above me in this house and every other human in this house. It's the dog's house. They just let us stay here. But this has been AV Songbird. You guys have a great rest of your night. Night, guys.